Okay, today is December 27th, 2013, and I'm Karen Nielsen, and this is my very fabulous aunt, Astrid, and we both live in Chicago. So, I understand that Christmas had some special traditions at your family.
Yes, we celebrated the Danish way.
What was that?
You celebrated on Christmas Eve, and you'd go to church, and then you'd have your big Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And while you were having dinner, the elves would appear, without your seeing them, of course,
Yeah.
and put all the Christmas presents under the tree.
Uh-huh.
And then you would come out and be surprised.
Uh-huh.
And it was fun.
And you had candles on the tree.
Oh, live candles, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been quite amazing to see it.
It was very beautiful. And obviously very dangerous.
And then what?
Well, you couldn't dance around the Christmas tree, although that's what you're supposed to do, but the Christmas tree was not in the center of the room, so we had to wait until we went to church and to the Christmas party at the church to dance around the Christmas tree.
Ah.
Yeah.
So this is really a Danish tradition to dance around the tree?
Yeah.
Hold hands in a circle? And
yeah.
What kinds of dancing was it?
I think all I remember is running around.
And did you sing Christmas carols?
Yeah. Danish songs, Danish Christmas songs. Well, I do remember one Christmas, I won some kind of a contest over the radio when I was a little girl, and that meant you got a visit from Santa.
Oh, well.
And so down the street came Santa, and that word went out across the whole neighborhood, so that kids came streaming, kids I hardly knew, from about a mile away, all gathered in my living room to meet Santa.
Wow! That must have been fun.
It was.
Were you active in sports?
Yes, very.
What did you do?
Tennis, and ice skating, and volleyball, basketball, badminton, track and field a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were you running or doing other field events?
Running and high jump and broad jump.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was good. In fact, some professional track and field people tried to recruit me to become part of their club, but I turned it down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and ballet I did a lot of for 7 years.
I remember that lovely photo of you on point.
You're right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. My parents afforded us many opportunities.
That's great.
Yeah.
So they really valued education, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
And they valued all of the extracurricular activities that whatever we could. The only thing that my mother and father did not sign me up for was art, which happens to be what I do. And I asked my mother once, you gave us all these opportunities. Why not art? My mother answered, well, because I can't draw a stick figure.
Since she couldn't draw, you couldn't
Therefore, it never occurred to her, yeah.
Oh, it didn't occur to her, I see. So she suggested that I should ask you about your time in the Air Force and when and why and what you did.
Okay.
How old you were.
I was part of what's called the University Reserve Training Plan, which is equivalent to the ROTC here, except that you didn't have to put in time after the university ended. So I was ended up as a little flying officer, as they called it, be a second lieutenant. At any rate, I got to fly. The officers would let me fly with them, and I would go up for what's called aerobatics, which is where you'd go up and do aerobatics up in the air. They were 2-seater airplanes.
Like this kind of thing?
Yes, loop-de-loops, and nosedive down 10,000 feet, and
Oh my gosh.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And one time they decided, let's get Astrid sick.
Oh no.
So I didn't know about that until later, and then I kept saying more, and the pilot got sick. He said, there's something wrong with the plane, I think.
So, Valerie also wrote down square dancing, tennis, swimming, rock climbing, hitchhiking.
Oh yeah, I hitchhiked throughout Europe for 3 months. I was I had a scholarship to Sweden, to Stockholm, Sweden, where I studied at the International School for English-Speaking Students and I spent 9 months, an academic year, studying their social welfare system, and then I met up with a girlfriend in Copenhagen, Denmark, and we hitched throughout Europe for 3 months.
Where did you go?
We went to, Denmark, Germany, Yugoslavia, Italy, France, England, and Scotland.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very good.
All hitchhiking.
All hitchhiking, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So does that mean it was safer for young women to hitchhike at that point?
Yeah, everybody did it at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm surprised my parents allowed it, but they didn't really have any say in the matter. I just said, I'm doing it.
Well, how old were you when you were doing this?
21.
Uh-huh. Valerie suggested a good idea. I should ask you about your murals.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what were they? Why did you get into this? Who were you working with?
I was, when I had children, I decided not to work and have children. I decided that I wanted to stay home. And so I developed my interest in art. And then one day a mural was going up and the mural artist asked for volunteers from the community. And I wasn't going to go out and make a fool of myself letting everybody see my mistakes out there in the public. But Frank, my husband, was pushing me to do it, and I was saying no. And he says, well, if you won't, I will, because this is a project that should be supported. So I thought, well, if he'd be willing to go out, then I should too. So I went and painted as a volunteer, and then I was invited to join the Chicago Mural Group. And I had as my mentor a man by the name of Bill Walker, who was the artist who started up the mural movement in the United States when it had been dormant for a couple of generations. Well, the first one that I did was the Spirit of Hyde Park, which is about my own community, which is a very activist, politically active community. Mm-hmm. And I painted their history, which was full of activism. So I enjoyed doing that. And there are underpasses underneath the railroads.
So, did you have any help on that mural?
On that mural I did. I had neighborhood children help me. And but the rest of my murals I did on my own. Although I must say Bill Walker was my mentor and helped me a lot at first, since I knew nothing about mural art and how to go about working on that kind of scale.
So Valerie said that there were controversies about your murals?
Yeah, there was a very small local group who were opposed to my painting these things about the community. And they put up a big ruckus, and that brought the attention of the larger community, and then it brought in all the television channels and the newspapers and all sorts of things like that. So there was a lot of publicity in books, and so on, a lot of publicity about the murals because of that one small group who were opposed to the mural.
Did they just not want to see what was going on? Was that the issue?
They objected to it, yes. They made up stuff about what was, they claimed that the mural was violent, and I was so surprised. I rushed over to the mural to see what are they talking about.
Yeah. So if you, what kind of things would you hope that your granddaughters would do or be interested in if you...
Well, I hope they're adventurous.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would like to see that.
But what kind, like traveling and stuff like that?
Yeah, taking advantage of opportunities that are maybe a little bit risky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.